Let's have a quick look at the ESV single column journaling Bible. I bought this Bible a couple of months ago, but I've put it back in the sleeve just to indicate some of the features of it. So it's called the single column journaling Bible, large print. It's bonded leather in the mocha color, and so it's very good quality. And let's just go over to the back cover here. Some of the features of this Bible: it has 9.5 point type, so it's nice and large, single column format, cream colored paper, and the great feature is the 2-inch rule margins. We'll look at that in a moment. It has sewn binding. It's not a glued Bible, it's a bound Bible with a lifetime guarantee. So let's have a look inside. Two standout features are that it is a single column Bible. So yeah, instead of having a division down the middle and 2 columns of text, we've got just the 1 column. And instead of that being put in the center of the page and you're having to try and write notes up against the spine, it is great to have it over here next to the center, and that allows for a very wide margin, which is so useful for taking notes. So let's have a look at the size of that margin. It is a 2-inch margin, or if you're using centimeters, of course that's around about 5 centimeters, and that is so useful. So here we have the passage about Daniel in the lion's den, and if you're wanting to take some notes in that right hand column, there's ample room. It is called a journaling Bible, so some people would probably use it for writing down personal notes and insights. I generally use it more for word studies and just highlighting key points, but how you use it, of course, is up to the individual. But it's just so fantastic having this much space on the right hand side. Just by way of contrast, here is another ESV. This is the one I've been using for about 3 years, but I just found that, yeah, the right hand margin is just so tiny that you really have got very little to work with, and you really can't take too many notes there. So yeah, great. I now use this as a preaching Bible because the size is good. And so some people may want to use a journaling Bible as your home study Bible. Yeah, so this ample space is such a blessing, and it's really helpful to use these fine point pens. So for example, the Pilot fine point green pen, really useful because it doesn't smudge, doesn't go through, it's nice and neat. Or even to go finer with the Pilot EF pen, that's extra fine. So that's the pen I use for the majority of notes on the right hand or left hand column there, to use an extra fine ballpoint pen. It's not going to smudge like a gel pen can, and there's just so much room there for taking notes that can be really useful later for our own personal benefit or for preaching or leading Bible studies. So having been cramped for a long time with thin margins, it is just fantastic having something with the wide margins, and there's just so much room to move. So just reading Romans at the moment, and there's just so much room on the column there to be writing down comments that are linked up with coloured sections there, or underlined sections. And then Galatians, been spending some time in Galatians recently, and yeah, just so much room there to be taking those notes. So I would highly recommend the ESV single column journaling Bible.